I get it. Drafting can be very hard in fantasy football, knowing which players to draft and which ones to avoid. So in this video, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to be sharing 6 different running backs you need to avoid in 2022. Hey guys, if we're just meeting for the first time, my name is Ivan Herrera and welcome to the 100 Fantasy Football Channel. The mission of this channel is to bring purposeful community to fantasy football that will help you win your leagues. In this video, guys, like I said before, we are going to be going over some running backs that you need to be focusing on in 2022. But before we do that, I'm going to be doing something brand new and I'm going to be telling you guys a dad joke. For those of you that don't know, I'm a brand new dad, I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. So now I have a reason to have terrible jokes. Being that they were terrible before, but now I guess I can get away with it because I'm a dad. Here's a dad joke for the week. Why did Cinderella get kicked off the football team? Go ahead. Go ahead and think about it for a little bit. Because she kept running away from the ball. No, whatever. Well, if you have any jokes to share, go ahead and put them in the comments below and I will keep this going. Now, with every single video I post, I will try to come up with a creative one or I'll try to get one from the internet to share with you guys on the 100 Fantasy Football Channel. Okay, focusing back up. Being able to understand where players are relative to their ADP is what's gonna make or break your success in drafting in fantasy football. So this video is gonna be kicking off a brand new series where I'm gonna be having different players that I recommend you targeting per position. In this video, we are going to be exclusively focusing on running backs. Specifically, I'm going to be focusing on 6 running backs that you need to avoid in 2022. I'm doing a lot of mock drafts and here are 6 running backs that I'm seeing being over drafted in 2022. The first one is Antonio Gibson out of the Washington Commanders. This is a tough one for me to share because I actually personally like Antonio Gibson. I think he has a lot of raw talent. One of the issues I have with Antonio Gibson being drafted is that he's currently in a running back room that features J.D. McKissick and rookie running back Brian Robinson. There also have been reports that Washington is looking to minimize his workload, being that he's had a lot of injuries in his very young career. Additionally, Antonio Gibson has had a lot of fumbles. He's actually tied for the most with 6 since 2020, tying with Ezekiel Elliot. Currently, Antonio Gibson is being drafted as running back 13, making him a borderline running back number 1, and I believe that cost is too expensive for him. And the reason why I think that's too expensive is that in 2021, he had 7 games where he only averaged about 5 fantasy points per game, constantly showing you that he was an inconsistent running back in 2021. Additionally, J.D. McKissick, who originally was going to sign with Buffalo, re-signed back with the Washington Commanders, and I think that presents a problem and why I think it's too expensive to draft Antonio Gibson as running back 13 in 2022. And the next running back that you should avoid in 2022 is running back Ezekiel Elliot from the Dallas Cowboys. All right, Dallas Cowboy fans, don't come after me. I get I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but I promise you this is not a biased pick. Look, it's really all in the data. Watch, check this out. There was a report that came out that Ezekiel Elliott was actually playing with the strain PCL from week 4 till the very end of the 2021 season. And during that span, he actually was pretty good. He was actually running back 8 during that time. And the reason why I'm a little bit more reluctant is because of the rise of Tony Pollard. And the thing is, Tony Pollard saw a career high in both rushing attempts and receiving targets. And I believe that's going to continue on in 2022. Currently, Ezekiel Elliott is being drafted as the running back 20, making him a RB2, where I believe he actually belongs in that RB3 range. The next player that I'm going to be avoiding as a running back in 2022 is running back Damien Harris out of the New England Patriots. This one's an easy one for me because in 2021, he finished as RB14. And I'm sure you're wondering, why are we going to not want to draft the RB14 of 2021? Well, the main reason is because he had 15 touchdowns. And I'm sure you're thinking, well, can't that be something that could be duplicated? I'm telling you, when it comes to fantasy football, predicting touchdowns is one of the hardest things to do. Here's the thing, it's not only the touchdowns, it's the fact of his 210 points that he had in fantasy, 90 of them came from touchdowns alone, which means going deeper into it, 43% of his fantasy production came from touchdowns. Another stat too that I actually looked up myself was of the top 15 running backs in 2021, Damien Harris was the only one that was under 1,000 yards that also didn't put at least 375 receiving yards, showing you that a lot of his production cannot be duplicated because he doesn't have much upside in the receiving game. So though I like the talent that Damien Harris does possess, I think that he's going too expensive right now and should be someone you should overlook in 2022 considering his current draft price. Okay, the next running back you need to avoid in 2022 is running back Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants. In 13 games played this past season, he had 8 games where he only gave you single-digit production, showing you that he was constantly underperforming from his projections. According to playerprofile.com, he also posted a career low run rate of 3.1%. On top of that, his contact per attempt rate was at an average 2.69 according to Pro Football Focus. Currently, Saquon Barkley's ADP is at running back 16, making him a running back 2, and he's ahead of some far less riskier options. On top of that, Matt Breida is currently going as running back 93, and I believe he is someone worth stashing considering Saquon Barkley has had too much of a recent history being injured. The 5th running back you need to avoid in 2022 is running back James Robinson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're just a couple seasons removed when James Robinson was a fantasy football darling who was undrafted and made a huge impact on a lot of fantasy rosters. Fast forward to where we are right now, unfortunately he suffered an Achilles injury, and it's pretty surreal to me that he's currently being drafted as running back 34. And it's more so to do with the fact that he had an injury late into the season this past year. I went to look a little further into the data, and the average recovery time for a running back that suffers an Achilles injury is around 11 months. There have been reports that he's going to miss OTAs, and there's still some doubt on whether or not he'll be able to get ready for the start of the season. New head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Peterson, does have a track record of using multiple running backs within his offense, so hope may not be entirely lost for James Robinson, but at this price range, it's an easy pass for me. Okay, we made it to the very end of the video. We are at running back number 6, but before I get to the 6th and final player, do me a favor, hit that like button if you've been getting value from this video, and be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified of future videos. Okay, here we go. Running back number 6 is Michael Carter from the New York Jets. So this was a bummer. A few months ago, before leading to the draft, I actually made a video saying that I thought Michael Carter was going to have a good season in 2022. With Zach Wilson getting another year under his belt of experience, along with Michael Carter getting more familiar with this offensive playbook, I see Michael Carter really bringing a lot of value in 2022. But all that went down the drain after the New York Giants not only drafted, but traded up to draft running back, now rookie running back, Breece Hall. So just like James Robinson, there kind of is a silver lining here. Michael Carter showed a lot of effectiveness catching the ball, so there still could be a role for him in third downs. The only bad thing is you can't really bank on that being something that you could really carry on a consistent basis in fantasy. Breece Hall is slated to have that running back 1 role solidified. With the current ADP that Michael Carter is going at right now at RB30, I just think it's too expensive for someone who's going drafted ahead of other players that are much better. She's being drafted ahead of players who are, I think, in much better situations, such as Tony Pollard, Darrell Henderson, Chase Edmonds, and even Melvin Gordon. All these players have more solidified roles, and the future is less uncertain for these players as well. So Michael Carter, unfortunately, because of Breece Hall, you're an easy pass for me in 2022. All right, guys, thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video. If you found value in it, do 3 things for me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, also push that notification bell so that you are notified whenever I go live or upload on YouTube. And be sure to also check out some of these other videos to help you out in your fantasy football leagues. And as always, and until next time, keep it 100.